least common multiples can be extremely useful. One example of this is how we can use them to add fractions with different denominators. All we need to do is find the least common multiple of both denominators, change each fraction by multiplying it by 1 into a fraction that has the same denominator, and then we can add them. Let's try it on this expression. So let's find the least common multiple of the denominators. If we do our 9 here, broken into prime numbers, that's 3 squared. And then for our 12, broken into prime numbers, let's see, 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then 6 we can also divide by 2, so we have 2 squared. And then we have 3 left at that point, right? So now, to get our least common multiple, we use the highest exponent of each unique factor. We have our 3's over here. 3 to the power of 2 is our highest exponent. And then we have 2 to the power of 2 is our highest exponent. So if we simplify this, 3 squared is 9, and 2 squared is 4. 9 times 4 is 36. So this is our least common multiple of the denominator. This is also known as finding the least common denominator. So all we need to do is multiply each fraction by 1 until they have a denominator of 36. At that point, we can combine them and add them. Let's go ahead and try. So let's bring this up here. How do we get 1/9 into 1/36? Well, we just need to multiply the 9 by 4. So we can multiply this fraction by 1. And that'll get us 1/36 plus our 1 divided by 12 here. And how do we turn 12 into 36? We just need to multiply it by 3. So we can do 3 divided by 3. Notice how we're not changing the value of the fraction because we're just multiplying it by 1. We're just rewriting it. So let's simplify this. 1 times 4 is 4. And then 9 times 4 is 36. And then we have here plus our 1 times 3 is 3. And then we have 12 times 3 is 36. So since they're the same denominator, we can just combine them. That gives us 4 plus 3 over 36. And then that simplifies to 7 over 36. And that is our solution for this example. So for this example here, we can do the same exact thing. First step is to find the least common multiple or least common denominator. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 6 here. Let's break it into prime numbers. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 2 times 3 are factors of that. 10, we can divide by 2. That gives us 2 times 5. And then here, 3 is just 3. So to find the least common denominator, we just need to take the highest exponent of each unique factor. Gives us 2 times 3 times 5. And that gives us 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Is our least common denominator. I'm just writing it like that so we can remember LCD. So our next step is to convert each fraction into something having the denominator of 30. Let's do that. Let's bring all that up here. 5 times 6. What do we need to multiply 6 by to get 30? We need to multiply it by 5. So we can just multiply it by 5 over 5. Plus, here we have 9 over 10. And we can just multiply by 3 over 3, right, to get 30. And then we have minus 2/3 times, we need to multiply by 10 over 10. So let's simplify this. We have 25, 30, right? Because 5 times 5 is 25. And then we have plus 27, 30. And then we have minus 20 over 30. Then we can combine these because they have the same denominator. So 25 plus 27 minus 20, all over 30. If we simplify this, that gives us 32 over 30, which can also be written as 1 and 2 over 30. If you want to simplify that even more, we can write that as 1 and 1/15. That is our solution for this example. Here's another example where we can add the fractions by finding the least common multiple of the denominator. So our first step is to break the denominator into factors. Let's do our first one here. We have x squared and y squared. And then here we have 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 again is 3. So we have 2 squared times 3 for our 12, and then times x times y. And then our denominator here is just 1. So we have 1. Now to find our least common denominator, we can write what is the highest. Let's start with 2. Highest exponent of 2 is 2 squared. And then our highest exponent of 3 is just 3. Then for our x, our highest exponent of x is x squared. And then for y, our highest exponent of y is y squared. Now we can simplify that. That gives us 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12x squared, y squared is our least common denominator. Now we can bring this up here. Least common denominator. So we need to convert each fraction into one having the least common denominator. So what do we need to multiply 2 over x squared y squared to get us something with the least common denominator? We just need to multiply it by 12 over 12. 2x squared y squared times 12 over 12. And then for our next one, we have plus 3 over 12xy. What do we need to multiply that to get it to our common denominator? Looks like just xy divided by xy. And then for our last term here, the minus 3, and I'll write it as 3 over 1, we just need to multiply by the entire common denominator over the entire common denominator. So if we simplify this, we have, let's see, 24, and then we have plus 3xy plus 3xy minus 3 times 12 x squared y squared gives us minus 36 x squared y squared all over 12 x y. And that is our solution for this example because we can't simplify any further. But that is how you combine fractions with different denominators.
Hey guys, if this video has been helpful to you, click the link in the description to get access to the complete Easy STEM Algebra 1 system, which includes a textbook, homework, and all of the course videos in order.